Okay, welcome back. So here are the finished rails and the bed ends, and they're going to need some final paint and assembly. So the first coat that I'm putting on here is primer, and I find with this rough wood, the filler that's gone into it and everything, and the kind of paint that I want to use for the finish, the primer is very, very useful, and it'll give you a great finish in the end. It was a really nice hot sunny day that day, so the primer dried by the time I finished the first coat. I was able to start the second coat straight away, and that saved me a lot of time, and it went on really easy. And so here's the primed ends and rails and the hand rests that have one coat of varnish, but they're going to need 3. So we'll give them a light sand just to get rid of any imperfections and dust and bubbles, and again another coat, but paying attention to the top side and not worrying too much about the bottom side, because we won't see that. And then also all of these prime pieces will get a light sand just to remove any drips or dust or bugs or any other imperfections that might be on it. And then we're going to put a coat of gloss enamel over it, and unlike the primer, this one is a little bit messy. It's sticky, it drips, and it takes a while to dry. So I usually leave it for at least the whole day, so I might put a coat on in the morning and in the afternoon. And while we're waiting for that to dry, these armrests can get a final gloss varnish. And by the time they're dry, then the rails and the ends can get a final gloss varnish as well. And then that's all the parts painted and ready for some final bits of assembly. I'm happy with the finish, that looks great. Okay, just to protect that nice finish, I'm putting some old towels down while we do some final assembly. And to protect the floors, I'm going to glue some felt onto the bottom of the legs with some super glue. And it's finally time to attach these armrests to the ends. So I'm just clamping it in place because we have to drill a couple of holes into the legs where the armrests attach. Being very careful not to scratch our nice varnish. A bit of glue. And then I found these nice brass screws which won't corrode out in the open. You know, people use daybeds on their veranda and stuff like that. But it's important that they go in by hand. Here you can see the 2 marks we've made to make sure that the right armrest goes on the right end. And again, a little bit of glue, and put those screws in by hand, because brass screws are prone to breaking if you use a power driver. Alright, and there are our ends, and there are our rails ready to put together. So you can see here, this one is marked 2. The other side is marked 1. And they match up to these rails. This one's marked 2. And this one's marked 1. And again, you can see how those dowels give you something to locate the ends into while you tap in the bolts. and then place the nuts inside the little holes and tighten them with a wrench on the other end. You can see how the nut pulls the rail into the leg or into the end quite securely there. The same for the other end. Okay, so it's almost complete, but we also need some slats to support the mattress. And I waited until it was all assembled so I could measure it out. And I think it says 780. And you might remember that we ripped some long, thin pieces of timber, and we're going to use these to cut out some slats. So each one needs to be 780, and I think that there was enough timber there left over from the pallet to cut out about 25 or more of these. And here they are, ready to assemble in the next episode. Last episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.